Hi, boys and girls. Today we are reading chapter 10, and this chapter is also called The Open Road, and we are now at part 3. Lunch was wonderful, as everything at Toad Hall always was. During the meal, Toad spoke to Mole. He played inexperienced Mole like one would play a harp. He described what would happen on a trip and the joys of the open road in a glowing way. Mole could hardly sit still in his chair because he was so excited. In the end, Rat allowed Toad and Mole to change his mind. He could not disappoint his friends, so after lunch they loaded up the wagon and set off. Do you think if you were Rat that you would want to go on this trip? This was their lunch at Toad Hall. It was a golden afternoon. The smell of the dust they kicked up was rich and satisfying. Out of thick orchards on either side of the road, birds whistled to them cheerily. Travelers called out, "Good day," or stopped to say nice things about the beautiful wagon. "Ah," said Toad, kicking out his legs, "this is the real life for a gentleman." They had a pleasant journey along the narrow roads. It was not until the afternoon that they reached the highway. There, disaster sprang out on them. What are some bad things that you think could happen to them? This is Toad, Mole, and Rat as they set off on the wagon. Everyone looks pretty happy by this picture to be on the journey. They were strolling along the highway when they saw a small cloud of dust. It seemed to be coming at them fast. From out the dust they heard a faint toot toot that sounded like an animal in pain. They turned to continue talking, but in an instant everything changed. With a blast of wind and a whirl of sound that made them jump for the nearest ditches, it was on them. The horn of the motor car rang out, toot toot. They had a quick look at an interior of glistening glass and leather. Then the magnificent motor car flung a cloud of dust that blinded them and dwindled to a speck in the distance. The old gray horse in the wagon lurched forward. Then there was an awful crash. The yellow-colored wagon, their beautiful wagon, fell over onto its side in the ditch. Rat raced up and down in the road. "You villains!" he shouted, shaking both fists. "You scoundrels! You road hogs! I'll call the police on you! I'll report you!" Toot toot, the horn rang out. As you can see, do you think the horse liked when the motor car went by them? And that is the end of chapter 10.